Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. I hope we have a great week ahead of us. I think this week the focus is more on what's going to happen with the big tech earnings. And that's where I think the market is going to derive either its bullishness or its bearishness, depending on how things turn out. Not only do we need good earnings, but also we need good forecast for the next quarter. In the absence of both of these catalysts, I think we are highly stretched up and expectations and the risk appetite could dissipate very soon. So I would like to start off by saying that Tesla earnings are set to make waves in this critical week. And Tesla is at the center of today's business news, basically with analysts anticipating a volatile set of earnings. I have been looking at all the different analysts trying to give their inputs, and I'm thinking that analysts are anticipating a volatile second quarter earnings report after a dramatic period for the company. The results due later this week, I think it's on Tuesday, on 23rd, are expected to reflect significant developments amid wider shifts in the tech sectors. Artificial intelligence is the main theme for this week's earnings reports, with other major players such as Alphabet, Coca-Cola, Meta, and Hasbro are also announcing their second quarter results. I don't know how much of Mattel and Hasbro products are manufactured in China, so it will be very interesting to see what happens with their outlook and earnings. The broader business landscape features companies like Ryanair doubling profits due to increased fares, and Stellantis facing earnings challenges from new US tariffs. But Ryanair is predominantly European. It's a budget airline from Ireland. So it's interesting to see all these numbers come through, and that can form the basis of what we think about what will happen in future. It's a progressive elaboration of the market. Microsoft has alerted firms to active attacks on its server software, urging immediate updates to protect against new threats. I would probably expect a little bit of impact on the Microsoft shares today. We'll check that out when we go to the TradingView platform. Alaska Airlines has grounded its fleet for several hours following a software outage, but has since resumed operations. Amazon increased prices on hundreds of essential items, contrasting with Walmart's recent price cuts. And this week, about 100 S&P 500 companies, including two of the Magnificent Seven, will report earnings. And that has got a very big influence on the market. So we have to think of this as a pivotal week. And most analysts are skeptical or neutral ahead of Tesla's Q2 2025 earning, citing falling car deliveries, pressures on margin, and uncertainty driven by leadership and regulatory changes, while there are still some long-term opportunity and optimism about the company's innovation. But near-term caution prevails in consensus across all the analysts, and that's what is reflected in their ratings as well. However, pre-market, I checked, Tesla is in the green. So pre-market participants are thinking it's going to be a fantastic earnings release for Tesla. I'll have a separate video out on Tesla earnings later today, but that's what I wanted to talk to you about. And now I would like to go into the TradingView platform and do our regular thing. Let us come out of this split screen and get into a one-day pattern. Let's go into one-day candles. And if you look at this one-day candles, I would definitely say that this bull flag has been broken on the upward direction. So I would dare say that despite whatever we might see as problems for the market or macroeconomical factors, tariff, whatever nonsense it might be, the technicals are indicating that we are potentially looking at S&P 500 reaching 6,666. And we still have the bearish divergence, but the market doesn't seem to care. As they say, the markets can afford to be irrational for longer than you can afford to be solvent. So I'll have to think about selling off my S&P 500 shorts and also the Mag 7 shorts and incur heavy losses I am trying to avoid that, but it's becoming extremely painful. So I have misread the market. I reacted way in advance. And chances are that after I dilute my shorts or after I sell my shorts, the markets will go down. So I won't have the benefit of anything. Let us see how it goes. I'll let you know what I do later on. Nasdaq also is going to show the similar kind of a pattern, but I don't think this is a bull flag. Bull flags generally have to come down and then break out. So this is not a bull flag, but I can see a new bull flag forming out here. If it goes a little bit down, I would say it's a bull flag. Right now, it's a consolidation pattern. Pre-market, we are up 0.24%, and we have this diagonal line of resistance out here, which is going to form the role of resistance today. And of course, goes without saying, we still have the bearish divergence out there screaming at the top of its lungs for a long time now. This is getting absolutely crazy. Next, we have dollar index, which is down 0.42%, which means all the bonds are also, the yields of the bonds are also down. So we are coming back into safe zones for the 20-year and the 30-year. I don't know what underpins this. I have a separate video coming up. I have been studying the wages paid by some really big companies in the United States and how it compares to the per capita income of United States. And I'm also looking at mortgage delinquencies, credit card delinquencies, and the picture is really amazing. Many of these big companies like Walmart and McDonald's and all, they are paying the low wages, the minimum wages. And if you take the per capita income of those people working in minimum wages and look at the percentage of such people out there, you will find that the top 1% is skewing the per capita income significantly for the United States. And that could mean that we will be in big trouble if this the consumer base is unable to sustain. Right now, I think the high net worth individuals are almost, I think, 2/3 of the consumer power. So I'll talk about that in a separate video. But all of those things are under this, and therefore, I don't think the bond market is going to stay low for a longer time. We still have our target out here for 4.6 for the 10-year yield. I think we will definitely go that side. Now, having said that, let's go on to have a look at the indicators themselves and see S&P 500 where they are. And there is no ceiling out here. S&P 500 can go up further. I'm going to pull this out here and say that for today, we are going to get support for S&P 500 at 6,300. Pre-market, we are at 6,296 out here, but this is the close of Friday. But if you look at the pre-market, I think we're going to be above this number when we open. Nasdaq is at 23,065.47, and our resistance for today is going to be 23,334. And our support is going to be this diagonal line of support, which I'm going to pull across from here. And that is going to be at 22,614. Now, having said that, if you look at weeks, it is up 2.8%. Whenever weeks goes up, that means the stock market pricing is going to feel a bit of a pressure. So it's going to be a volatile week, in my opinion. Gold is up 0.72%. Of course, it's got to be up because the dollar is down. That's a very straightforward assumption. Now, if you look at this pennant out here, it's a bullish pennant that we can see. And I suppose that we can still make this target viable for 3,725.272. So I would look forward to gold going towards that extent over a period of time gradually, which also means that the dollar has got to become weaker. And if you look at Dow Jones, it's up 0.24% in pre-market trading, and we have a very bullish formation out here on the charts. You can see reverse head and shoulders. You can also see a bull flag out here with a potential breakout. So it's looking amazing for the Dow Jones, and QQQ is up 0.24% in pre-market trading, and the put call ratio is pretty bullish. And now let's go on to look at AI. At the beginning, we have NVDA, which is up 0.04%. And we still have support for today at 169.88. After a lot of gains, there is a little bit of profit taking likely to happen. And then we have Meta, which is up 0.51% in pre-market trades, and it's going to enter a resistance at somewhere around 716.30. That's going to be the resistance for today. Google is up 0.89%, and they are scheduled to start report their earnings on Wednesday, which is 23rd of July. And I think the overall market is bullish for Google because they have really good ratios, and they have been the slowest of the Mag 7 to move upwards. And they've got pretty good accomplishment on the AI field. So overall, I think Google is looking good. Amazon is up 0.29%, and we have a target out here, reverse head and shoulder target of 257 at the very least. And I think we are progressing towards that. Pre-market, we are up 0.29%. The price increase in Amazon, we'll have to see how it reflects in terms of its margins and earnings. And because Amazon is mostly inexpensive and there is a feeling that you get convenience and everything, at the same time, inexpensive stuff which can be replaced very easily, I don't expect Amazon to feel too much of a pain. But at the lower end, demand is always highly elastic. So we'll have to see what happens when the earnings come out. That could potentially be a risk factor for Amazon, in my opinion. Apple is up 0.66% in pre-market trades, and they have a class action lawsuit against them, but we see a whole lot of consolidation out here. At this point, it looks like a bull flag which is ready to break out on the upside. So it's looking bullish to me. And I would hope that we see the breakout happen today. And the resistance for today is 213.40. Right now, we are at 212.56. Microsoft is down 0.20%, as I mentioned, a little bit of a negative because of the server compromise news that we had. And Barclays has increased its price target for Microsoft to 550 from 494. So the interaction of these two bullish and bearish catalysts together is reflecting in a -20, but I'm sure that during the day, Microsoft will pick up and go into the positive. Tesla is up 1.66% in pre-market earnings, and we have their earnings coming up on 23 July 2025. So the pre-market price action seems to indicate a positive open for Tesla, and it's gone above these two lines of resistance, which are now support. So I think the support for today is going to be at 329.58. Right now we are at 335.17. Next, we look at Oracle, which is up another 0.39%, and a bullish pennant is getting formed out here. And we have AMD, which is up 0.32% in pre-market trades. And I think as far as AMD is concerned, this gap up needs to be filled. So if there are any weakness, that would be this gap up attracting fill action out here. The support continues to be, in my opinion, somewhere around 147.13 for AMD today. And SMCI is up 0.89% in pre-market trades. Support is at 50.33 and resistance is at 55.82. Broadcom is up 0.17% in pre-market trades. It's continuing to make its move upwards, and it's consolidating a little bit. I don't see a bull flag or anything out here. It's just moving across on the bullish channel out here. And if I was to hazard a guess that this was the previous bull flag, and we had a breakout from this bull flag, so the target would have been somewhere around 285.61, and that didn't happen. But then we had the second bull flag coming up, which was a smaller bull flag, and we broke out from there, and that target was supposed to be somewhere around 263.69. So I'm not able to get a fix of a price target for Broadcom, but it's meandering its way upwards. Now let's look at Palantir. It's up 0.44% in pre-market trades. We have a price target of 160.43 for Palantir for today. And then we have a support level of 144.52. SMH is up 0.22%. Again, just like Broadcom, this also is meandering along upwards. We have a price target of somewhere around 304.29, and it's moving towards that. Right now it's at 290.94. And Tempus AI is up 1.33%. It has managed to move upwards. It has broken the downward trend, and it has got a line of resistance out here, which I would like to mark like so. And if we break through above this, then I think we should start looking a little bit bullish for Tempus AI. And right now, pre-market, it's up 1.31%, and it's at 61.77. So for today, the resistance is going to be in the region of 63.51. So that's a call for Tempus AI. And then I would like to just briefly look at Rigetti. Rigetti is down 0.58%. They have had some really good breakthroughs in quantum computing. I'm expecting it to go up and have a resistance of 18.35 for today and a support of 15.47. Pre-market, they're at 17.05. I'm pretty confident that it's going to move upwards and at least test this resistance in the next few days during this week. And we have their earnings coming up on the 7th of August. So as we go closer to the earnings, maybe some jitters will return and it could probably come down. But right now it's looking bullish to me. Having said that, let's go on to Genomics. And in case of Genomics, I would like to look at some select shares instead of going for everything. So I'm going to start off by looking at Prime. So in Prime, I see a whole lot of bullishness. If you see this, I'm just expanding this so that you can see the price action out here. And if I take a very conservative approach and say, this is my bull flag pole, then I think we are having a breakout out of the bull flag. And I think I would have a target of 6.42 for Prime. The breakout doesn't look that clear. I have forced it out, but I am thinking this is looking bullish. However, the MACD is crossing over the signal line to become bearish, but bullish sentiment persists and momentum is also pretty high. Plenty of room on the RSI to go up, and pre-market we are up 1.69%. So with the formation of the candle for today, I am expecting that the resistance for today is going to 4.56 and our bull flag will become much more prominent. That's my expectation. Next, I would like to look at Intelia. Intelia is making steady progress upwards, and we have this bull flag that we have broken out of, and we could have a potential price target out here for the bull flag. Assuming the bull flag to start from here and go all the way up to here, then I think I would take the breakout somewhere out here and say that we have a target of 13.76 for Intelia. Likewise for Caribou, we are progressing towards our target of 2.27. Pre-market, we are at 2.09, which is up 1.95%. And then I would like to go directly to Illumina. Illumina is looking pretty good to me. Now, this is a bull flag in operation, and we are waiting for the breakout to happen. A whole lot of consolidation has taken place. And pre-market, we are down 0.15%. But I'm expecting us to have a green candle for today for Illumina because fundamentally, Illumina is doing pretty well. And we have our earnings also coming out somewhere around 31st of this month. So there should be some catalysts awaiting us. The Grail is off the books. All the commitments for Grail has been taken care of. Tie up with NVDA, a good footprint on AI, and really good use cases for proteomics and all the omics that Illumina is in. So they are heavy catalysts. So I am thinking that Illumina has got to zoom up again. So let's see what happens today. That said, I mean, I would like to go and look at CRISPR. That would be the last share that I want to look for today. And we are up 3.18%. And very recently, there was a huge purchase by Insider. $514,000 or $515,000 worth of shares that they were bought. More than that, actually. 50 on, yeah, it's almost a huge purchase for an Insider. That's around 1.7 million shares. Wow, this is definitely a very bullish outlook. So we should expect something major to happen. And I think all those who are holding CRISPR shares are going to do really well. This is amazing. You guys who are holding CRISPR shares, you are doing gangbusters. It's a 67.20. If you're holding CRISPR shares, just for my vicarious pleasure, put it in the comment section how much profits you're sitting on and what is your plan. Are you doing covered calls or taking partial profits? What are you doing? Please let me know. And also let me know your thoughts about CRISPR. With that, my friends, I'd like to have a quick look at what's happening in the comment section, and then I would like to finish up for the day. So here we are. And I would like to say bye for now, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video.